He's lost. He's lost in Tamriel. Cyrodiil, wherever the fuck.
I think you got it.
I think it's called Oblivion Town.
Cyrodiil.
What?
Hey, Dave, take it easy. You should step out of the room. Sean.
Yeah, I should.
Sean's not good when he gets like this.
Yeah, just give him space. Yeah, you guys depart the tent. You would know. I mean, pretty much what you see is happening right here. You have a Revelator portion of the camp. You have an Enoch portion of the camp. You've got your sort of lodgings up to the top left. You're kind of welcome to unroll your own camp rules. Well, you guys figure out what you want to do.
Peter will go ahead.
As we come out, Jasper will look up and say, "Huh, I guess councilman doesn't carry as much weight this far out."
Peter will say, it's less about carrying weight and more about doing your job properly. Say, clearly someone was pretty uninformed.
Everywhere we go, all of these underlings display such blatant disobedience and disregard for nobility. I don't care for the things happening to the world.
They're probably just scared. Go ahead.
I'm not nobility, and yes, they're probably just scared.
Yeah, it looks like a strong wind could blow this tent over.
Peter will say, well, we're obviously not heading back tonight. So we can at least make camp here until we're certain the people from the west have returned. Say, and figure out what we're going to do.
Leon's going to kind of chime in and say, you can't take Roy's failures on your shoulders like that.
Peter will say, it reflects on me, doesn't it? Says he throws his hat in my camp all the time.
I'll look back at you and say, I think Roy is the only one that's deluded himself into honestly believing that he has any sort of influence over you.
But we lost. I mean, the surveyor's program is in shambles and people are dead, and I could have left a day earlier if I just put my foot down. Said,
That's what I've been telling you, Peter. He's sitting in his desk trying to order you around. You, his superior. It's intolerable.
You don't say, I just kind of like put his hands together and say, I need a minute.
I am going to leave him. I guess it is last wording, unfortunately, but
no, go ahead.
Bellefontaine will put his hand on Peter's shoulder and say, I don't want to help you beat yourself up, but it is to my point. If you would exercise your position, then someone like Roy Fleischer wouldn't be able to delay you from helping others. Look what it's wrought. We have the chain of command for a reason.
Peter will kind of look tiredly toward Bellefontaine in acknowledgement, and he won't necessarily say anything. And he'll look down at the troop and Fuji, and he'll say, "You guys should get yourself settled." He says, "See what's around." He says, "Make yourself comfortable." He says, "We'll stay here for as long as it takes for her people to return, just to make sure that there's nothing else we can do." Just because she says there's nothing we can do doesn't mean that's the truth. So just let's get a lay of the land.
Of course, Peter. We'll do what we can, but you have to promise me you'll have a quick lie down at least when everything's settled.
Peter will chuckle and he'll wink and he'll say, "You have my word."
All right, Fuji, let's go see what we can do.
Okay.
Then we'll head off to the camps. That's where I'm heading.
All right.
Peter's literally just going to kind of go take a cool down walk, like hand on hip, just kind of thinking to himself.
It's just walking around with his hands on his hips, just exhaling.
Bellefontaine's going to look a distance after him and then rotate back to Leon and just a long silence, and he goes, "You really like displaying your chest."
Leon's gonna say, "Yeah, I worked hard to get it to look like this."
You could grind meat on those.
Ew.
He has.
Are you coming on to me?
Ew.
He's gonna kind of look after you, and he's gonna say, "All right, do you need handling, or you're fine on your own?"
I'm no longer a child, so no.
He's gonna say, "All right."
All right, Leon, you'll have fun with your boy. And he's just gonna squeeze his shoulder and leave his hand there for a second, and then walk out. And I think I'm gonna stalk Peter.
Yeah.
Gross.
Okay. All right.
Seems fun. I don't want to be
Wanna be-
seen though.
Ooh, there you go.
Combat roll.
There you go. I'm not gonna contest this one because I feel like Peter's pretty distracted. So
All right.
his ambient too is on
now?
Wait, we're going to look after Peter. I'm trying to gather all the information I can. What do you want to do?
You're getting suspicious.
Well, maybe because a ghostly psychopath is speaking through me. I tell you what, Castus, if you want to spend the time actually socializing with them and making them accustomed to this ghastly deal we're a part of, be my guest. But if I'm driving, I'm going to stalk Peter and observe him.
Fine. This place smells anyway.
It does too. It's canon.
Oh man, we all reek.
So stinky. All right. Why don't we follow the troop? Fuji, do you guys have anything that you're doing?
I don't know if Fuji's looking for anything in particular.
All right.
Is the Travertine troop looking for anything?
Someone tend to this poor boy.
Yeah, I
This poor traumatized boy.
Cleo will look up and say, "You're
Cleo!
quiet." I was quiet when I was first formed. Took a while to come into my own voice.
Yeah.
Well, I think that it's good to consider your words, to consider who you want to be. I am getting ahead of myself. Is that what you're doing? It might not be.
I don't know. You mentioned the beasts again.
Well,
I would rather not run into them.
I'm sorry to say, but I think that's unavoidable. We're kind of on their turf now. Sooner or later, we're going to run into one of those monstros. And we'll deal with it. Or with Peter. It'll be fine. I'm sure he told you as much, Fuji.
Yeah.
Jasper will look up and say, I doubt they could even hurt you if they found you. Put a good scare in you, maybe, but... Good.
It's not really me that I'm worried about.
Oh, you don't have to be worried about us. We're quick on our feet. Well, I am. And like I said...
Fuji does a little chuckle.
And Peter is Peter. He's a legend. The amount of stories I've heard of him, I don't think anything short of 30 monstros could best him. And Mr. Bellefontaine, well, he knows how to get lost. You got nothing to worry about, kid.
Okay, I'll try to trust you guys.
And if you ever feel like there's something you can do to help, well, you'll do it. Just have a bit of faith in yourself.
I just can't really fight like you guys.
Cleo will smile as she can and look up and say, well, fighting's not everything. Love and compassion, those are necessities, not luxuries. Well, that's what Roranashka says, at least.
Oh.
You
I don't
don't.
know if that'll help against the monsters, but
No, I think a few harsh words and a kick in the rear might. You're not a fighter, that's fine, kid. You'll find something you can do.
okay. And Fuji looks just a little bit better.
But right now, we need to find a camp. And then, I don't know if you need any rolls to establish a camp or just have us set it up.
Yeah, you're pretty much free in a campground like this. You've got a lot of utilities here at your disposal, so you're able to get camp set up.
Just a
I say we kick out
montage.
all the sick people
Oh
in
my
their
God.
camp.
Wow, Fuji got dark.
Yeah, you really did.
You're right, I should be confident. Move over, you assholes.
I am
Fuji
better
just-
than other people.
You just see Fuji dragging somebody out of their tent. They're just completely 10 out of 10 screaming.
Fuji is always man spreading now.
Yeah. I want there to be just a montage of the Tavertine troop and Fuji working together to put up a tent.
One distracting a man and then the other slitting his throat so they can take his tent. Literally tabletopping a guy.
Just dropping, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
I can't tell if the 2 sets of graphites would be good at setting up a tent or really bad.
We
Because-
both have good.
Yeah, because we both have like crafts, but also how often do graphites actually use tents?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
We just have an eye for machinations. I think we're
I
good
was
at
gonna
this.
say, I feel like you'd be able to get a pretty solid one, but by nature of the fact that you guys get how stuff works. Though I'm not opposed to an adorable, frustrating attempt to get a tent erected.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just us trying to pin down the sides.
Yeah.
It's like it's
Sitcom
too
intro.
frustrating. You guys make a new
Yeah.
one. It's just not ideal.
As those 2 get camp made up, as those 5 get camp
Million.
made up.
5 million.
Peter, where are you going?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Uh,
No, the other Peter.
I turn my head.
Fuck you.
I was thinking I might just check out the.
I don't like.
And
The
then
casting
title
of
card
Ray
drops.
Romano for Pete was brave.
Deborah!
Deborah!
So much blood, Deborah!
Mercer!
Deborah, I finally get that operation and fix my fucking voice.
Oh my gosh. I think Peter's just kind of following a less occupied trail. Instead of kind of going to the more occupied camp areas, he would probably be on the perimeter, which I feel like this looks pretty. I mean, there's this bird here, so
Yeah,
if this is kind of like it's covered in trees, it's a little outcropping, he might sort of naturally gravitate toward this area.
Yeah, she will withdraw a knife and turn to face you, at which point the battle music will begin.
Oh no!
You want my berries?
Yeah.
The
Why after
boss
my
monsters! You stumbled across the secret boss.
You step into the glade and you just hear, "Took you long enough." No,
Really
this is.
Artorias.
The fog door comes up.
Yes.
Yeah. She just starts a fucking Sekiro shadow boxing the fucking divine monk. As you, this is just a Quetzal kind of observing prayer. As you walk in, there's just a shot of all of the different Glodian pantheon gods, the 5 of them set up, and you just always seem to find yourself opposite Garima. So when you walk in, he's of course the one directly across from you. The emerald green eyes inset in the statue, just sort of matching the green glint of your own eyes.
Peter will he'll just sort of meander in aimlessly, and he'll approach to just sort of look around. But I do kind of want to see what this lady's doing. I'll roll my super sweet note stat.
It's you surprising her.
Jeez.
She is, let's see. So she is worshiping at Horingar. So you pretty much just
You're
see
a Death
her.
Eater, huh?
Yeah, you just see that she's in front of his idol.
Love Harry Poppy. I love that show.
Oh god, I fucking love Harry Potter and the.
The best, the best, the best.
So you see that she's I guess you would probably smell it first. She's burning silver on a tray on the ground, and she's reciting a prayer in kind of slow Glodian, attempting to get it right.
Is she getting it right?
I guess you could roll your
Yeah, let me roll my fucking lore. I'm assuming this counts. Great.
Yeah. She's actually doing pretty good. This is definitely something, not her first time doing this. It's kind of pretty ritualistic. Maybe not the best grammar. It's, a lost language, but I guess this might be sort of slowly becoming more common for you that you're hearing people attempt to speak it more. So like most obvious that I could point out is that it would be post-ascension Glodian, but that's only for me. I don't know who else cares which language it is.
Peter's eyes crossed. He would wait respectfully, just sort of in that way that people stand around during prayer and respect other people's, privacy while also doing their own thing. He would allow her to finish. And when it was polite to do so, he would say, that was really well spoken.
Just going to turn around and say, oh, thank you.
Is it common for people to pray for any particular reason to Horingar? Is it usually over the loss of someone?
Realistically, for, over the loss of somebody or for a blessing on a birth. Which, for your 5, you knew that it was a loss.
Peter will say, are you pregnant or are you just fat?
Damn,
You pregnant or does your friend die?
Roll will.
Yeah.
He'll say, I'm terribly sorry for your loss.
She'll say, oh, it was years ago, but thank you.
He'll look up and around, and he'll say, she's a surveyor? She's not in military clothes.
Right, yeah, this is a surveyor.
He'll say, I'm so sorry you came out all this way. Said if I had known it was going to be this dangerous, I would have shut the whole thing down from the start.
She'll say, oh, no, we knew what we were signing up for.
I'll say, with all due respect, I don't think anyone knew quite what we were signing up for. I'll say, but I appreciate your enthusiasm. Surveyors like you are why we're learning so much about Glodia.
She's gonna say, I just wanted to make a difference.
Well, you have. I can promise that.
She's gonna smile at you, and she's gonna kind of look you up and down, and she's gonna say, I'm sorry, who are you?
Kind of smiling to himself for the brief moment that he was not recognized, he'll open his mouth to end the facade. He'll say, you can call me Pete, but it's Peter Papadopoulos.
Yeah, she's gonna ruffle as soon as you say Pete. She's gonna say, oh, Mr. Chairman.
He holds up an hand and says, Peter's just fine.
She's gonna say, well, Peter, you enjoy your time observing. And she's gonna leave, not observing her, that kind of came out weird, but you're in the fucking little, religious glade here. So as she leaves, she'll kind of leave you with the altars.
Peter will look back up at all the altars. I don't remember. What do people leave for Garima? What's common? People bury things.
Yeah,
right?
whatever. Pretty much anything that you have to give, they bury stuff. So
Do people put idols and stuff, or
whatever they have that's valuable to them.
Valuable to them?
Yeah, a lot of money.
Chuck E. Cheese whistle.
Chuck E. Cheese whistle. It's like really, really dope. So you would see kind of at your feet, the ground has been sort of, dug up over and over. It's pretty common at places where there's a lot of traffic that they'll sort of dig everything up in like a, box and bury that somewhere after.
Let me look at my aspects here. I'm just gonna play this out. It's kind of a self-compel. You can take that as you will. Peter will look up at the Garima statue for a long while, and he's kind of gonna look down at his feet where stuff has been buried and sort of. I like to imagine some of it's not fully buried, you know, in that way that like lots of foot traffic sort of pulls things up.
Yeah.
I want him to use his foot to kind of scoop out one of the more surfaced objects that maybe was like partially out of the dirt.
Sure. It's going to be half a child's doll.
Oh.
What'd it get?
And half a child.
Thanks so much for subscribing to my video, my Garima undigging video.
Peter's going to observe it for a long while, and then kind of lifting his foot up and placing it on the doll, he's going to very slowly twist his ankle until the head pops off.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, just going to shatter under your foot. Or head pop off the visual you wanted.
Okay, let's roll empathy on that.
Ew!
Woo, woo, woo.
Alright, so how does this work? So I didn't notice him. So
I was going to
do
say, I don't
even
really
roll
know that
deceive?
you can actively deceive against this.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I suppose you could...
I'm okay if that's the case. Like, I'm already compelling this, so I'll take the L and eat the fate point for myself.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the future what I might have, if somebody's in stealth, they could, roll with a +2 or something. But it's like you're not, you understand that you're alone. So whatever you would go through to naturally kind of cover yourself up, but you really can't defend against somebody you don't know is watching you.
All right. I'll say you're watching his back, obviously, but maybe you get kind of that shot, that anime shot where you see half, kind of like the side of his head overlooking his shoulder, you know?
Yeah, I'm studying everything. I'm starting to see whether you look around, what the intensity of your stomp is, whether there's a severity in it, like you're punishing the doll, or you're sort of interacting delicately with it as if in the respect out of some memory.
All right, so with a 3, I'll say it's a boiling anger that seems to start slow and just kind of build uncontrollably, like almost like it's something he can't quite control. It goes, how do I put this? He is just incredibly intense on this object, as if to take out some personal frustration on it, as if not even regarding why it's buried or what it's there for. Just an unbridled kind of like focus and anger in his like really vibrantly green gleaming eyes as he twists his ankle to break it.
Interesting. I wonder if that's resentment for the practice of the god. Do you believe in gods, Mr. Costas? I mean, I suppose they're provable, but do you subscribe?
Well, no.
Had to think about that one, did you?
No god would put me in a body with you.
Well, no god did. It was a demigod, I suppose we might call him. And really then only an accidental byproduct.
Yeah, I suppose. He was just passing through.
Well, the only one true god is Leda, of course. I know this because she made me to be perfect. It's a very personal relationship I have with her. But I do weaponize that metaphys on occasion. Inverses the odds.
By the way, Fontaine, I got a new attachment for my arm. You should see it sometime.
I did see it when you were murdering that fellow.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
As you guys are going back and forth, you'll hear the tiny footsteps of Elliot and the louder stomps of Leon. Leon being the kind of spouse that'll give you enough time to be moody before he goes to check on you to make sure you're not doing anything super weird, like stepping on a child's doll that's been
I wasn't
unearthed
doing. Me no. I wasn't
And
doing that.
literally, Leon will walk into. There's like a shot of Bellefontaine and Castus, and then like Leon kind of stepping into frame behind Peter. And let's see, Peter, roll notice.
Wow, that's actually. Where was that notice earlier?
Yeah. So you match. So you pretty much turn around to see Leon has sort of entered the glade. It's kind of like just on the periphery, looking bored as hell, and he's gonna say,
Oh, you brought the kid.
"What are you doing?"
Peter will say.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
Oh.
couldn't get to this fast enough.
I hate it so much. Press X. While in stealth, press X to kiss your wife. Is the most
I forgot.
upsetting, and the cadence of the X button in the bottom right.
While
corner,
in stealth.
it's really a bummer.
She won't do it
That's
if she
part of the
notices you.
tutorial, isn't?
Yeah.
It's friggin-
Yeah, it's like one of the
It's
first. It's one of the
cute.
first things of the game.
Is it, Kane?
No.
It's not good writing. Peter will turn around and he'll say, I just needed to catch my breath for a moment. A lot's happened in the last few days. I'm sorry I didn't fill you in sooner. I didn't expect to see you, to be fair. He kind of removes his feet, sort of trying to recover the doll with the back of his heel.
Leon's gonna kind of look past you, and he's gonna say, "I didn't exactly expect to run into you either. Had Elliot not taken off on his own, we wouldn't have run into you."
Peter will say, yes, Elliot. He'll look past Leon and he'll say, it's a pleasure to finally meet you.
He's gonna kind of look at you, and he's gonna say, "You too."
Peter will just sort of nod slowly and look back at Leon and he'll say, this is just more than I was anticipating.
Yeah, you're acting a lot weirder than usual. What's going on?
Peter will kind of throw up his hands like, hey, you caught me. And he'll say, I'm just frustrated. This is...
Peter.
always been difficult lately, but this is... I mean, before we left, there was a problem in Medios. A string of people died in the hotel we were staying in the same night, and I couldn't do anything about that. And now I've been completely misinformed. Apparently we're having to retreat, and we sent civilians out this way. And it's... now, you know, I don't get to leave office all too often. So it's just, you know, it's a bunch of things. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be weird.
It's a bunch of things. You know, I didn't hear Mercer tell you that you had to retreat. I heard her tell you that there was nothing that you could do here at the camp.
Peter'll say, You've seen who I'm traveling with, right?
He's going to kind of look out at the camp and say, yeah, bunch of graphites and the weird... What is he anyway? He's not there inside.
Peter will, he'll be quiet for a moment, and he'll say, well, I guess the story starts a little further back. I knew Damien from before.
Oh.
Says, yeah. Says, he just kind of showed up right before we left. Says, and I'll be honest, since that moment, I've been a little off-put, and I don't know that that's really fair to him. People just don't show up out of my past and not cause a problem.
It's going to say, you know... It's a really upsetting face. I've been wrong about stuff like this before, but, you know, you do mean a lot to the people that came from Cumulonimbus. If Damien knew of you, then he knows what you did. And that's inspiring to a lot of people in and outside of the bubble. I don't know what's got your guard up so far on this, but he just kind of seems really stoked to be around you.
Peter's kind of looking off to the side with his arms crossed. He'll say, he used to be in Portia's circle.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely negative points.
I mean, Portia didn't really keep friends. She kept assets around, but, you know, opulence and how they are, that is kind of like being friends. Anyway, he says, I realize it's not entirely fair. He says, I can't help but he reminds me of her.
That guy reminds you of Portia.
He says, well, not. He says, I don't know, of a time before. He kind of waves his hands. He says, it's complicated, okay?
What is this really about?
You kind of pout. And he'll say, I just feel like I'm obligated to help him. He's cursed, right? He lost his body. He was kicked out of cumulonimbus, the same like I was. Well, I wasn't kicked out. I left, but we both left before the bubble fell. He says, we were both opulence. We're both cursed. I've never met anyone else who's cursed like me before, Leon. He says, that has to mean something, right? He says, even though he drives me up a wall.
Belfontaine's audibly sobbing.
I do want to cut away, and Belfontaine just mutters to Kestis, he's giving me a lot of ammo to work with here. This is good stuff.
If Cassis doesn't bump back, Leon will say, look, I don't think anybody's quite cursed the way that you are. And whatever he is, if you think this is some sort of divine intervention, I think you're looking in the wrong place. If you want to help him because that's what you do, you help people, like you're going to help that shy, see-through kid.
Peter kind of chuckle.
Let's say, then help him. There's nothing stopping you from it, and he's not Portia. He's just a guy that knows about you, and he's gonna say, and could learn a lot from somebody like you.
Peter will, he'll visibly relax a little bit, and kind of flip his heavy lids up, and he'll say, somehow you still manage to make me feel like that flustered, bright-eyed kid. I don't know how you do it.
That's because I'm insanely attractive.
He'll snort.
And he's going to start moving back, kind of realizing that Elliot's there already gagging. He's going to start moving back. He's going to say, Elliot, go!
Leave us!
I don't want to be here! He's going to say, he's going to start kind of moving. And he's
I love
gonna
the
say,
tension of the moment that they're both standing there, and they both have to like look over at Elliot, who's standing there too, like who
Making
comes
one eye
into
at a time.
frame.
Don't kiss. He's going to say, when you figure out what you want to do, I think the fellas are making camp.
He says, yeah, I suppose it's time we head back.
And if you will, he'll walk you back.
Yeah, though, actually, he'll take a few steps and he'll kind of stop and he'll say, oh, I need to find a Quetzal. He says, gosh, I was so out of my mind. He says, there was literally one right here. He'll look around and he'll say, I need to deliver a letter. He'll say, I'll catch up with you.
And just kind of wave a hand and turn. He's gonna look knowingly at Belfontaine and wink. He doesn't do that. That would be-
Belfontaine nods.
Belfontaine just rolls out a stack of actual cash. It's not like Glodia and gold. It's just dollar bills.
Ocean's 11's theme starts playing.
Yeah, this guy, he's not so bad, Peter. Why don't you let him get real close to you? Let your guard down. Come on, you always do this. This is why I don't have any friends,
You
Peter.
like helping people, Peter.
Yeah, especially that guy.
I gotta go send a fucking rant letter to Roy now. So Peter's in the search of a Quetzal,
Anyway.
which I happen to see these people over
Yeah,
here.
you're right next to Tino. You may as well. I didn't mean to force you into talking to them. I was going to figure that out on my own. But by the law of proximity, if you're looking for a Quetzal, the first one you would look up and see is your boy Tino from before.
I
It's
look
me,
over and
Tino.
Bellefontaine's there. What?
Oh!
Where? I assume Bellefontaine's like hidden kind of behind the. They're away.
Oh, yeah, he's got terrain. He's
Oh,
got
yeah,
little
as you
fences
approach,
behind.
he hucks his body up and whoop! leaps over the other side.
Peter will he'll meander through camp until he stumbles across these familiar faces. Originally just looking for a Quetzal shape, but he will happen to stumble
Wow,
into
this is
them.
really high octane.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Peter flies into frame and kicks Tino in the face.
Yeah, fucking them boys are here. Jesus Christ. Yeah, we'll just play. Just keep going. What do you say?
Peter will look up and he'll say, I'm glad to see you made it.
Tina will look after you and he'll say, "You too."
Say, I want to emphasize again how sorry I am for your losses. There's been information given to me that this mission wasn't as clear-cut as we thought it was going to be. I'm gonna make it right.
Priya will step forward and she'll say, "It's appreciated, Chairman."
And for what it's worth, everyone here will be on the lookout for Briggs. I wanted to call him like Sarge.
Sergeant Stagger.
Say, he'll be apprehended. If he doesn't return within several hours, I'll take a party out myself.
She's going to exchange a look with Tino, and she's going to say, "That would be greatly appreciated, Chairman."
Peter will look at them and he'll say, I don't mean to ask for a personal favor immediately. Say, but I have a very strongly worded letter that I need delivered back to the Republic, and someone willing to do so.
Tino will look. He's going to kind of look at you and he's going to say, fly by night?
He'll nod his head and he'll say, it would be a great personal favor to me, and I'd be happy to do anything I could for you and your crew.
He's going to say, "Oh, we're not too much of a crew. I kind of ran into David and Priya there, and, well, they're more of a two thing anyway, but look, I'm not going to be able to fly your letter back tonight, if that's what you're asking. We're going east."
Peter will say, no, just... You're going to be able to return it a lot faster than I will be, on foot. Says, and it's urgent that this information reaches Roy Fleischer.
Kind of whistle and he'll say, "Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll deliver that for you."
He'll say, it would be appreciated, and Chairman Papadopoulos will make it worth your effort.
Just going to kind of just look at you waiting like there's money coming.
Peter, almost thinking this is like a favor he's going to pay down the line, will kind of go, he'll start shuffling around in his pockets. Oh god, the best resources.
Just some bird feed.
Yeah. He immediately just goes feral and starts eating it out of your hand.
Peter will, we do have those resources points, right?
You do.
Peter will say, gosh, I don't have anything on my person, but if you would come back to our camp, I'm sure I could arrange something, a trade. Says, I don't even have the letter drafted yet, but we could strike a deal.
He's going to look to the other two, and Priya's going to say, we'll go on ahead. You make your deal with the chairman and come find us.
They're gonna go bone or something.
They're going right east.
There's no something about it.
Yeah, they're gonna go.
There's something about
It's
it.
right to the glade.
It smells like
boy.
sexual tension in here, they say.
It's just where you go to have your tension moments.
That's the makeout. Those are the bleachers.
Yeah.
It's like
Yep.
the teenage bleachers. Peter will kind of usher Tino on, and he'll say, "This way."
Yeah, he'll follow you.
All right. He'll walk up to the camp. How's
Mr.
it looking?
Papadopoulos, camp is set, and you made me a promise. Come in and leave those troubles at the tent flap.
I love it.
He'll say, he will kind of try to say, well, first things first, I really do need to write this letter. He says, this is Tino. Obviously, we've met before. Says he's agreed to help deliver the letter for me.
Yeah, tomorrow after, we figure this thing out east.
He'll nod. He'll say, but it seems I left everything I own here, so I want to arrange a trade. He's like, what do we have?
Then the menu opens up and you see our consumables.
Peter presses X.
What are you
Pause.
buying?
Yeah.
Let's see. We've got
Got plenty of animal materials if you want to get rid of some of those.
a lot of rations. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that rude to offer rations? Can I change these into anything I want?
Yeah, I mean, they're.
I believe that's what we
unassigned. Yeah, they're unassigned at the moment. We just initially said what they were, but
All
it's
right.
kind of not.
I'm gonna take
Oh,
the
plan.
4.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the 4 as basically coinage.
Sure. You give
Nice.
$4.
$4, 4 big ones. He's like, "Wow, cheap, Peter.
Jesus
Thanks."
Christ. Okay.
Peter will reach into his belongings, which I'm just gonna retroactively say were taken to camp for him,
Mm-hmm.
and he will offer it up to Tino, and he'll say, "Consider this a down payment. I have plenty more back at the Republic that I can offer you, especially for your expedition."
Say, sure thing, Chairman.
Plenty more sounds really fucking conceited. Say, I can double it when you get back.
It's gonna kind of give you a smile, and he's immediately gonna start counting it.
Everyone waits around while he counts it.
Like sweating. It's really uncomfortable for him.
What, you don't think he's good for it?
Am I gonna be safe? Or... I gotta get out of here. Bellefontaine, did you follow Peter directly back?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, y'all are back, so I can progress to the next morning. Unless you guys wanted to talk about what it is you want to do.
I don't know.
Yeah,
You
we
got
probably
anything?
should have a conversation about what the fuck we're gonna do here. I don't have a good plan, so we'll get everyone's input. I guess after, does Tino leave at some point?
No.
Honestly, he's just gonna kind of hang around.
Fuck
the
outta
camp.
We're just hanging out.
Yeah. Right. So, what is this? Like a?
The tent's big enough for everyone, I'm
You guys
assuming.
looking for another guy?
Everyone good to
You guys
go?
want another one?
You lost another
I love
bird,
this graphite and this graphite that are just part of us now.
Yeah, I guess I can scooch them up too. All right, the big leagues. Peter Papadopoulos. Who knew?
Peter's just collecting graphites at this point. So Tino counting his money. Peter will kind of usher everyone to the tent per his promise, and he'll take his coat off and fold it and kind of put it to one side as he grabs some like parchment and whatever and starts kind of like outlining a letterhead. And he'll say, "So we have to decide what we're going to do from here." Says, and seeing how you guys are part of my crew, I wanted to get your opinion.
Well,
He's just slowly looking around.
yeah. In that case, Jasper will pipe up first and say, her name's not Priya. Let me remember. Mercer.
Mercer?
Mercer. He will say, well, that Mercer lady doesn't seem to think we have much use. I'm hoping you have something to the contrary. are we just heading east? Because it sounds like there's trouble out that way.
Peter will say, there does. And I'm really concerned about it. He says, normally, if this were me and the people I run with, I'd immediately head that direction. He'll kind of look up more honest and he'll say, but if I'm being frank, I don't know how good of an idea that is.
We were just talking to Fuji about it. It's okay, Mr. Papadopoulos. We're here with you now. We're your crew now.
We've taken over. He'll smile and he'll say, I'm really glad to have you. But I hate to put anyone else in any more danger than I already have.
Fuji, what do you think?
Fuji, who's been just sort of wringing his hands, goes, I mean, I didn't think this would be easy. It's not exactly what I thought it would be, but I want to keep going for as long as everybody else wants to.
See, we're worried over nothing, Pete.
There's the obnoxious flipping of card material as Bellefontaine is drawing from his deck in respects to this situation.
Peter will look to him and he'll say, so what say you, Damien?
What does Lita say through the cards? Judgment reversed. The tower. And then the moon reversed. Oh, this is quite tumultuous. You see, Peter, currently, or at least our residing issue, is self-doubt, ignoring the call, as you have so done. What we need to do is confront the tower. The very pillar of our lives will be shaken as we confront this. Apparently having to do with these monstro. And for it, in our future, lies... he looks at the moon inversed, and he says, the release from inner turmoil. If we pursue this route at nighttime. Let's see, the moon reversed, so I guess sunrise.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
He says, and the insecurities we all face, the rejection of the call we've all performed upon ourselves, will be alleviated by confronting this. However, it's going to cost us something fundamental, and things are not going to be the same.
Peter will, he'll look over everyone gathered, kind of with, heavy, soft eyes and, a smile, and he'll say, all right. He'll look to Leon, and he'll say, you could come with us.
He's gonna look to Elliot. He's gonna say, might not be the best idea.
Peter will close his eyes softly and he'll say, yeah, I know.
Don't get me wrong. I'm really antsy to see those, things, but could barely keep track of him on my own back there, so we might just hang tight at camp until we're ready to head out.
Peter will, he'll look at his little crew here and say, then we continue further east tomorrow. I say, we'll take the evening, rest, and then we're going to go see who we can help and who we can find. So I don't believe that they've saved all the surveyors that they can. I think that there are people who are lost. The wilds are huge, massive. And it's very possible that groups have been disrupted, people have run for shelter. And I can't leave them in good faith. And if you're with me, that's where we'll go.
Some claps from the graphite. Yeah.
Yeah, Fuji just goes, that sounds better than hunting Monstro.
It sounds noble.
Everyone doesn't want to tell him that monsters are going to be there.
Yeah. If we do that, there won't
No
be
one tell him.
monstros,
Just
right?
no one tell him.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, Kane.
No, she's just like praising you.
Well, the cards have spoken. It would be quite a befouled fate if I were to go against them.
Peter will, he'll turn back to writing his letter. And he'll say, no. He'll say, then get what you can, and rest as long as you can. We'll leave it first light.
Alright. Fuji, my bedroll isn't rolled out. I need assistance.
Doing what?
Rolling out my bedroll. I have no idea how to set one of these up.
You just unroll it.
Well, it sounds like you know quite a bit. Can you demonstrate it?
Oh, I want to use a charge. I want the bedroll to just unroll itself.
Okay. Yeah, Bellefontaine, as you speak, you're almost alarmed by the just flapping of your bedroll as it just snaps together. Rolls out in front of you on its own.
Wow. Oh, they're automatic. Splendidly done.
That wasn't me.
Yes, I should say it isn't.
Okay.
No.
Alright, the Teletubby's sun sets on another day.
Giant
Screaming
baby
into the
face.
Does anybody have anything particularly nefarious that they're doing in the night? Otherwise, I'm going to call an early break.
No.
No.
Take a break.
Nope.
Okay. So I'm going to call an early break, and then I'm going to pause it